the entire bug that we have seen for the task will get resolved. In this session, I'm going to show to you how we can use our stream builder to have not a blank screen when the app is being installed for the first time. That's because you will have absolutely no task when the app is installed for the first time. Hence, we should have a bit amount of encouraging UI that can help our users to in fact use the app. Otherwise, I would hate a 1-star app review on my app that's publicly put on the Play Store. That's kind of irritating and also demotivating to me. Having a good user experience not only contributes to a better app, it contributes to the company's monetary policy. Hence, if not for the app's sake, stick to the monetary policy, which can get you some Lakshmi. Stay tuned. Let's dive into the session wherein we'll try to fix the bug wherein my task was not being updated. In fact, in this session, I'll also have this blank screen issue fixed wherein if the app is installed for the first time, then we get to see this. Well, that's kind of annoying to the user because he sees a logo, he sees a plus icon and has no clue what to do ahead. In that case, look over here. While the task is being edited, what did we do? We want to initialize both the controllers with the pre-filled values. Correct? Was this our motive? In this case, look over here. What did we try and do? In the build function, we tried to do all the things that should have been done in init state. As you have learned about the life cycle of a stateless widget. Over here, the initialization, if it's not there, I should in fact turn this into a stateful one. That's because now I can move this to something inside init state. Well, this is a proper way of doing initialization. You would be also agreeing. Second, I'll mark both of them to be final. Well, why is this the case? Let's say if it's a final and I try to do something of this sort, then it won't get allowed. That's because it's a final. If I remove it, it would allow, but I don't want it to be reinitialized. Hence, the text editing controller gets initialized only once. With this, let's try doing a hot reload and verifying if this particular small change works or not. Hence, let's try inserting an task, preparing for office tasks. Pick time and I'll set it to 10:30 a.m. Now, what I'll try and do is slide this for ABC client. I'll change this to 10:31 and then click on modify. Well, in this case, what do you notice? It works perfectly fine, but over here it shows -1. Well, that's because over here when we were trying to do the edit functionality, something of this sort, preparing office tasks for ABC client, I did not select the priority, and then over here now the -1 is gone. So wait, let's try adding one more, preparing content for hoping minds, and I'll put this as my evening task. Now over here, if I try clicking on edit and I see this, let's say without changing, if I try to switch, then basically my add task screen, wherein we are trying to get the pre-selected value, that is the task priority. I have never initialized this task priority. Hence, this goes without saying that all variables should be initialized, and that's how I'll see the priority value. Well, in this case, let's try running the app from the very beginning, and this time I'll check if it is resolved or not. So, preparing content for Hoping Minds, I'll click on edit. Today evening. Now I'm not changing the task priority and even the time of the day. Let me click on modify task, and you notice it stays at 2. Hence, with this small change, I was able to fix the bug. Next, what I'll try and do, in the display task screen, this on the top portion is sticking to the edge. Let me just quickly try to go to the task item widget, and wherein I have the task description, I'll just try. Oh yeah, I already have something as a margin. Let me try increasing this to 20, and in fact I can have the top padding to be there and the bottom padding to be slightly bigger. So in this way my card size is overflowing. Let me also change this to 150. Yeah, so in this way I can accommodate even a bigger task description in my cards. Next, this plain bland looking screen, when I would uninstall the app, would be terrible. Hence, now if I show it to you by uninstalling, my user is going to probably stare at a blank screen. I'll wait until the APK gets generated. And as I'm showing it to you, the APK is being generated, and I'll move to my device. And as I click on skip, here is my clueless user. He has no idea what to do with this app. That's because this snapshot.data upon app installation will have nothing, and that could be troublesome. That's because my list is empty. Hence, what I'll try and do is write an if else saying that if the list is empty, I will be having a bit amount of UI that can tell my user what to do next. So I'll put over here add task to get started with my app name. I'll set the style with a font size of 20 and with the color white. Also, I'll align the text so that it is having a center alignment. Now, when I try to do a hot reload, I get to see this. But the point is, I still do not have something which can encourage my user to take some action. So let me have a bit amount of space, following which I'll put my custom button widget, and encourage my user to create a task. Well, that's going to be simple, as because on navigator.push over here, I can make my user to go to my add task screen and just add the new task. So here we are. I'm going to click on create a task, and over here I can see prepare for office. I'll pick the time as 10:30 add task, and it shows something of this sort. Well, this kind of serves the purpose. Next, what I'll try and do is move it to the center. So what I'll try and do is uninstall the app. Meanwhile, the APK has been generating. What I notice is my app only showing the logo and not the app name. Basically, I want this entire thing to be also be there onto my display task screen. Hence, I'm not going to duplicate the code. In fact, what I'll try and do is to move this entire column inside a common widget, wherein I'll see display logo widget. So this class display logo widget is going to be a stateless one. Let me do the missing override and paste over here my entire column. I get to see an error. That's because over here, instead of me taking a cut from here, from the splash screen, I accidentally took a cut from a display task screen. Let me take the missing import, and over here, as soon as I get to show the logo, now I'll display the logo widget on my display task screen, as well as display the logo widget on the splash screen. Now, for testing, what I had done is setting the splash timer to 1. Let me set it to 5 in order to show it to you guys. So here's my app. Because it's been installed for the first time, I'll click on skip as I get to see the intro screens. Next, this part wherein on the left edge it is sticking, I'll see that the cross-axis alignment has to be on the center. In fact, what I can also try and do is move this entire inside a center widget. Yeah, that's kind of looks good. Now, what I'll try and do is create a task. Prepare for office. Yeah, so on and so forth. What I'll see is the task description to get added and displayed. Next, if I just remove this cross-axis alignment as center, you'll notice that over here this details, they're still being on the like over here on the center. That's because in my display logo widget I have moved this to the center. Well, what I can again try and do is set the alignment. Wait, let me not have the center at all, and in fact keep something like alignment here, or an align widget here, where I can make it to the top center. Yeah, well, that's the perfect alignment which I wanted to see. Let me just add one more task. Prepare client app designs. Then try to modify it. And everything seems to be working good. So with this, if I now go to the display logo widget on the splash screen, let's try and see if this is already appearing on the center or not. Well, that's not the case. So let me first have this on the center in column, and try to run the app. Now things appear on the center on splash screen and appear on top center in case of display task screen. Well, this alignment defines the alignment for the logo widget, and this alignment defines the alignment inside the column widget. If this kind of seems confusing, I would recommend practicing it once and twice, and you'll be surely able to try to get over this. In fact, I'll agree that I did a bit amount of mistakes in imagining the widget. The entire module finishes off. We have the entire NoSQL storage from the scratch being built. That was module number 5, and here we are at module number 7 completing it. It took a lot amount of effort to develop this small app, but it was very intriguing as because now you understand state management, now you understand offline storage, and in fact automations. Things are going to be very fast driven when you step into an industry world. In fact, so fast driven that sometimes product managers expect your app to be finished in 2 or 3 days of time. That's the way you should be having your development skill developed. In fact, in the next module, we are going to have an entire web API to be implemented, wherein we will be having our e-commerce app to be developed from scratch. How to go about it and what will be there in the entire module. In order to find out them, stay tuned and keep learning with Hoping Minds.